All right, so we're starting to move into a section of the Augsburg Confession called the disputed articles. So these are articles where either they're making a correction or a clarification on something that maybe hadn't been clear in the historical time that they were living in, or they were more directly contrasting from the Catholic Church. So this first one, Article 22, is concerning both kinds of the sacrament. What this is talking about, plain and simple, is the bread and the wine in Holy Communion, the body and the blood in Holy Communion. Because at the time, there was a tradition in the church they were breaking from where if you were just a regular member, if you weren't a priest, you only took one kind. And there are still some churches that operate this way, but I believe it's much more flexible than it used to be. But you only took the bread. And there are various reasons that they kind of like, where did this tradition come from? If you only get the bread if you're a regular person. The one I've heard that like tracks the best for me and makes the most sense for me is because the Catholic Church subscribes to transubstantiation. So they believe the body and the bread and the wine literally turn into the body and the blood. And there's a little bit of nuance. There's always a little bit of nuance, but like they probably take that much more, I don't know, maybe literally is a good word. This is something, regardless. So they were taught, and in these times, there was a belief, especially in sort of the uneducated masses, that like it was really like it was now blood and flesh, right? So what they would do is there were people who would like accidentally spill the wine on their shirts or something, and then they would cut that part of the shirt out and they would start to worship it in their home. And so I hear that, and you know, it might just be a story, it might just be folklore, but I hear that and I'm like, that sounds like something that could very well happen, and the church would have to respond somehow. But what this article is saying is, we say no. People should be receiving both kinds of the sacrament. They should be able to receive the body and the blood in communion, the bread and the wine in communion. And as far as like where does this hit the ground, when you go to communion in a Lutheran church, you get the body and the blood. Like that's what we got for today. With the exception of me being a little bit fuzzy on my terminology about some of the other beliefs that are out there. That's what we got. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you have clarifications that you want, put them in the section below. It is there for your comments. And I do check every day to see if there are comments up, and I will respond, you know, as best I can. And again, go ahead and subscribe if you want notifications when new videos come out. So with that, a nice quick short one for you today. Brothers and sisters, go in peace, serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.